This video was made possible by Audible. With their special holiday offer, get unlimited audiobooks for $4.95 a month for 6 months at audible.com/HAI or text HAI to 500 500. This is Switzerland, where the cheese has holes, the knives have screwdrivers, and the flags teach you math, and this is the city of Bern, famous for blue waters, a flag whose bear probably didn't need to be that anatomically correct, and of course, for being Switzerland's capital. But I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. You're adopted. Wait, wrong secret. Bern isn't Switzerland's capital. But Sam, you ask, if Bern isn't Switzerland's capital, what is? To that I would say, ask your birth parents, but, well, you know. So instead I'll tell you, Switzerland doesn't have a capital. You see, nowhere in Switzerland's constitution, whether you look at the 1848 original, the 1874 revision, or the critically panned remake Tyler Perry's A Medea Constitution, do you find a specific location named for the nation's capital, and that's weird because basically every other country in the world has either a law or a constitutional provision naming their capital. Take the United States, for example. According to the documentary Hamilton, in 1790, following a rap battle, we passed a law declaring that our capital was going to be Washington, D.C., a sinking swamp city in the middle of nowhere. Switzerland, on the other hand, never passed any such law, probably because they did yodeling battles instead, where the true loser is everyone. But never actually naming a capital wasn't just a trivial slip-up we found on a list of weird useless facts on Wikipedia that I figured I could make money off of with 5-minute sponsored YouTube videos published 6 or 7 times monthly. Nope, instead Switzerland's lack of capital serves as a microcosm for how Italy's hat works. Back in the day, before people thought Switzerland was cool because of skiing and chocolate and questionable banking practices, it was kind of a backwater that other empires didn't even bother trying to control because of the mountains and difficult terrain and annoying accents. Left to their own middle-of-nowhere devices, cute little baby states, called cantons, took shape across the region, and some of these cantons figured, hey, rather than always doing war to each other, maybe we could not do that and get along sometimes, and so they formed cute little alliances called confederations. Then, in Europe and the Americas, people started making nations, and not wanting to be left out, cantons from across present-day Switzerland said, hey, let's be even more friendly and do even less wars and start a nation too. And thus, there with Switzerland. But unlike most nation-states, Switzerland pumped the brakes on all that one nation indivisible fraternity stuff and said, look, you guys are cool and all, but let's not get too carried away here with all this unified blood and soil stuff. It's getting kind of weird. And so, to avoid early onset HPW, hyperpatriotic weirdness, the Swiss decided to keep the cantons around as powerful, semi-sovereign states tied loosely together under the umbrella of Switzerland. That meant the industrious cantons could keep speaking German, the pretentious cantons could keep speaking French, and the spicy meatball cantons could keep speaking Italian. The point is, without a particularly strong or centralized federal government, the process of creating a nation that wouldn't tear itself apart came down to balancing power between the cantons. So, they chose not to have a capital to ensure that no single canton or city was more important than the rest, and all the Swiss went on to build lots of clocks, invent Velcro, be the very fine people on both sides of countries in every major world conflict, and live happily ever after. The end. Okay, I can already hear you asking, but Sam, everything I've ever read or watched my whole entire life outside of this single video told me that Bern is the capital of Switzerland. To which I say, why is everything you've ever read or watched mention what the capital of Switzerland is? What sort of freaky streaming site are you subscribed to? The truth is, Bern is inaccurately referred to as the capital because it is home to federal government buildings. This is because, while balancing power across a decentralized Switzerland was an idea that all cantons could get behind, the nation still needed at least some sort of federal government, and they needed to put that government somewhere. So, in true rom-com fashion, the Swiss picked a quiet, unassuming city who doesn't see how beautiful she really is as the home of the Federal Assembly. This was okay with all the cantons because unlike the larger cities of Geneva, Lucerne, and Zurich, the smaller Bern didn't come off as intimidating. After all, they wore short skirts, Bern wore t-shirts, they were cheer captain while Bern was on the bleachers, etc. Not all federal buildings are located in Bern, though. For those who have broken Swiss law, maybe you dropped your bread in the fondue or only got a bronze medal in bobsled, you'll end up in the Federal Criminal Court located in the Italian-speaking city of Bellinzona. If you're less criminal, though, and more supreme, the Swiss Supreme Court is in the French-speaking city of Lausanne. So, while Bern gets the star in bold font on all the maps, federal government functions are spread across the country in order to maximize a balance of power. So, the next time you hear someone on the street say that Bern is the capital of Switzerland, now you know what you need to do. Stop whatever you're up to, call them an idiot, yell at them in front of their family, don't stop until they've started crying, tell them to go watch this video, and then finally, and most importantly, give them this link for 6 months of unlimited audiobooks on Audible. You see, you're probably used to how Audible has always worked. You get credits with your membership, which you can exchange for any audiobook in their catalog, but now there's another option. Audible Plus gives you unlimited podcasts, unlimited Audible originals, and unlimited audiobooks from their Plus catalog. That means this can be your one-stop shop for audio entertainment regardless of how heavy a listener you are. For example, you could listen to the biography of one of the most influential leaders in America's pandemic response, Anthony Fauci, with the super highly rated audiobook included in the Plus catalog. The best part of Audible Plus is that if you decide you don't like a given title, you can just stop listening and find something else since it's all unlimited. So if you're like me and spend almost every moment when driving, cooking dinner, going for a run, or anything else listening to audiobooks and podcasts, Audible Plus is definitely for you. Right now is also the perfect time to get started since, with their holiday offer available exclusively at audible.com/HAI or by texting HAI to 500-500, it's just $4.95 a month for 6 months for unlimited podcasts, Audible originals, and audiobooks.